Hey guys, it's Cade. It's February 27th, 2009. Unlike I said in my last video, I said 2008 because I wasn't really awake yet. Just wanted to do a part 2 on jobs and some of the things that have been going on with work and getting work and transitioning. It's been a really interesting time. Well, actually, before I get into the jobs, something that happened a couple of weeks ago that's totally unrelated that I wanted to talk about, and that was, like, exactly 5 weeks ago today, actually, when we were doing an injection, we hit my iliac artery in my leg, and that was freaky. Basically, like, every week, Lee actually gives me my injections because I'm too much of a wimp to do it myself. I was self-injecting, and one day really hurt myself doing so, and wouldn't waste a doctor's time going into a doctor's office to do injections or medical clinic or anything like that here, even though it is free in Canada where I live to go see a doctor. No, I just have my girlfriend do it every Friday morning when I get up, and this is like one particular evening about 5 weeks ago. I don't know what went wrong. We went too medially on the thigh or the leg or whatever at the back, and the needles, as those of you who inject testosterone know, are usually 1.5 inches long, 21 gauge, 22 gauge, something like that, and we actually managed to puncture the major artery in my leg, and it was freaky because when we aspirated there wasn't any blood in the needle, but as we started to inject, a bunch did actually pulse into the needle, and we were like, okay, what was that about? So I really freaked out. It had definitely felt really, really different. It was really scary because, of course, IVing testosterone can kill you. It can cause a clot in your heart. It can cause a clot in your leg. It can cause a stroke. So I was really freaked out when that happened, and we pulled the needle out right away and finished the injection somewhere else, and you know, switched needles and everything, whatever. But it was kind of a freaky, weird thing. It's kind of it freaked me out, because at first I thought we hit a vein, and I was like, oh my god, and I called poison control and stuff and said, okay, you know, totally neurotic. It was kind of laughable in hindsight. I was like, I injected 1/20th of 1 milliliter of sesame oil, because it's the oil that the testosterone's in, not the testosterone per se that is the problem with IV. It's the oil. So, and they're like, yeah, we'll call the doctor for you and ask, and so they did, and they're like, yeah, no problem, actually, even if you did IV like that little of oil, you should be totally fine, don't worry, it's not like you injected the full 1/2 mil or more than that. But yeah, it was kind of a scary experience. Now, apparently when Lee pulled out the needle, I was basically feeling super, super high. It was weird. It was almost like an injection of amphetamine or something. Not that I've ever done that, but like I felt super. I've done amphetamines, I haven't ever injected them, and I felt crazy high, like just really sped up, and it was a very, very strange situation. I went to the mirror to just go quickly check myself out, like my eyes, that is, and my response, and my pupils were fully dilated, like there was barely any iris, and that could be a response to just sort of epinephrine and being hyper, thinking that I've just IV'd testosterone, like a fear response, an anxiety reaction. But I think that actually that response in my eyes, which is typical of drug toxicity or, you know, a reaction to medication, was due to perhaps getting testosterone, I don't know, in my artery. But the reason I know it's an artery later is because Lee told me, I wish she'd told me at the time what had happened, because I thought she had IV'd it. Now, veins, for those of you who aren't up on their biology, veins carry blood towards the heart, arteries carry blood away from the heart. So, as far as I was told from poison control, getting a bunch of oil in an artery would be less of a big of a deal than in a vein, because it's not going to your heart. And arteries, you know you've hit an artery because they gush everywhere. As soon as you've punctured one, they will, with force, push blood out of your body and pulsate out. It's quite disgusting, actually. So that's apparently what was happening, but Lee didn't tell me that till later. She was too in shock that she removed the needle and was like cupping her hand behind my thigh, and it was gushing blood, like her hands were just dripping blood everywhere. So I wish she told me that, because I would have probably freaked out less knowing that she'd hit the artery, but she was just too in shock having that much blood all over the place, and it gushed all over. It literally actually did like splatter on the carpet. It was disgusting, and all this from a 21 gauge needle. So, you know, they're powerful. Your heart is driving blood at a very high velocity through your arteries, and it was, yeah, it was disgusting. So anyway, it was disgusting but not dangerous, and that is my story about shooting testosterone into an artery. I'm just going to check the time on my camera. And because I like to ramble, I guess we're going to make another video. So, we'll talk to y'all soon.